right, well, hello, welcome. This is very interesting because I caved and bought a ring light and all kinds of good stuff to do a face cam. So this is my first face cam video, maybe my last. We'll see what happens. So this is me in all my my pale glory. Welcome back. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. Glad to have you. Today we're going to be looking at a really awesome Pokemon lot that I picked up locally recently, so pretty excited to share that with y'all. Oh, I don't know about this face cam. I see myself, right? And I'm not thrilled with how I look, so we'll see. What if I zoom? Should I? I don't need to zoom in any. I think it's fine. All right, so what was I going to show you? Yeah, so I post sometimes on Facebook, like online groups like yard sales and all kinds of stuff. And there's two near me, two different cities that are real close by that have online yard sales. And I'll post every once in a while. It's like, hey, I'm looking for Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If you got any sitting around, just let me know, and I'll come take a look. And I had a guy reach out to me about like 8 months ago, and he sent me some pictures of his binder. He said, I've got these sitting around. They've been sitting around for years and years and years, and I don't really need them, and I've got all this stuff that I'm trying to get rid of. And I went up and I saw his stuff. We met up, like I said, a couple months back, and it was in great condition. Some of the best condition cards I've ever come across, and that weren't pulled from a pack, right? At least recently. So he had done his research, he knew the value of them, and was asking for about $500 for the whole lot. And that was a little too high, I think, for me to really turn around and try to make any money off of it, especially because I wanted to grade a lot of the cards. And if they don't come back high grades, I end up losing money. Fast forward to today, or now, COVID-19 is happening. The Pokemon market's in a really interesting place right now, and some people think it's because a lot of people have a lot of free time at home and they're just online and buying Pokemon cards and spending money. But who knows? So who knows if the market's going to stay kind of where it's going or if it's going to tank, but we'll see. But I met back up with him and I ended up buying the whole lot. But let me show you what we picked up. So I'm just going to go through all these cards. I've already been through them all and picked out the holos that I think are worth sending a PSA. And I picked out everything I think is at least a PSA 8. There may be ones that are like on the cusp that might be closer to a 7, and some that are just really, really nice that are probably 9s, maybe have shots at 10s, but I won't hold my breath with WOTC cards. So I'm going to go through them. I'm going to show you what I got, and then I picked up one really cool thing that he had in his collection too. I'll show you that. If you follow him on Instagram, you've probably seen a couple of these things, but if you don't, check it out. Post a link in the description and it should pop up on your screen right now anyway. So let's get right into it because I've been talking at you a long time because you get to see my face. So why not? Let's have a conversation. So the first up, I've got a Fossil Magneton. So not first edition, and none of these are going to be first edition, unfortunately, but all really nice shape. So the front looks pretty good. It's in a sleeve and a top loader, so you might see some scratches, which are most likely on the plastic because I looked over all these and they're all pretty nice. A little bit of whitening. You got some here in the bottom left corner, a little bit in the bottom right. But then other than that, just have like one little dot up here in the top left. So all in all, I think this one's a solid shot at an 8. Maybe a 9 if PSA is feeling real good, which they've been really tough lately on WOTC cards. I've seen some really rough grades come through from people recently. So, all right, next up, Zapdos Fossil. Dude, how much of this am I going to out versus leave in because you can see me stumble over my words in person, or kind of in person, at least you can see me do it. Zapdos Fossil, really nice. Let's take a look at the back. Yeah, I mean, you've got like what, this little bit down here in the bottom left, one little dot right there, a little bit on the bottom right. The rest of it looks really good, so I think this one's got a shot at a 9. Alright, base set Zapdos. Again, all of these have really clean fronts, and I'm not going to like really go too deep into the fronts because like I said, they're in sleeves and top loaders, and it's going to be really difficult to see if it's scratched up or not. But like I said, I looked over all these, and they look really nice. So I'm really just going to be showing the front and then taking a quick look at the back. A little bit in the bottom right here. But then other than that, really nice back. Really nice back. So I think this one's got a shot at a 9 too. Next legendary bird, Moltres from Fossil Set. Good centering. Back looks real nice. Is there anything? You got a little thing right here in the bottom right. Bottom left, like a smidge of whitening. Yeah, I mean, honestly, these are really, really nice for just sitting in a guy's closet for, 20 years or however long it's been. All right, and the third legendary bird, Articuno, also from Fossil. Yeah, a little bit right here on the bottom right, but not too bad. Other than that, this one looks really good. Yeah, it's really just that bottom right spot, so Articuno. Gotta love the legendary birds. But how about a rock bird? Aerodactyl. I guess you wouldn't really call it a bird. It's more of like a dinosaur or a pterodactyl, so. There's Aerodactyl from Fossil. Same. They all have just the smallest white dots in the corners. But you never know. Sometimes PSA is feeling real good and they say it's only got a single dot. I'm going to give it a 10. And other times they're like, it's a 6 for no reason. Erica's Venusaur from Jim. I like this artwork a lot. I like it a lot better than the base set Venusaur. I had a first edition. When I first got back into buying cards, I was buying first edition WOTC. A lot of first edition WOTC whenever I could find it. I actually found a really nice lot. And I had a first edition of this. And at the time, I had never PSA graded anything before, and I was being unbelievably strict. And I was like, oh my gosh, this first edition card has one little white dot. No way it'll get a 10. And I sold it. I sold it raw for like a near mint price, and I regret it because I think it had a shot at a 10, if not at least a 9. So this one's really nice. Holo looks absolutely gorgeous. And this one has, what do you know, a single white dot right here in the bottom left. So probably a 9 because of that white dot, and then, maybe something like this. But who knows? If it gets a 10, that'd be awesome. I won't hold my breath. So there's Erica's Venusaur. This is a very popular card, Dragonite from Fossil. If this was first edition, whew, that could be worth a pretty penny. But even an unlimited is a nice chunk of change if it comes back as a good grade. So this one looks really good. Let's take a look at the back. I think this was one of the ones that may have a real good shot at a 10. Okay, so we've got right here these, I don't know if you call them 2 white dots. Is this the same? 1 white dot? 2 white dots? Yeah, just that little bit there. Not really. I mean, I guess kind of. I'm getting a little blurry because I'm getting real close to the camera. I don't know, like, I'm looking down so much and I'm not looking at the camera very often. I don't know if there's going to be a better spot to keep the camera. So right now it's kind of like off and to the left a little bit. And I don't know if I want it like directly in front of me. So I'm like, anyway. All right. But yeah, this one is really, really nice. I think this one actually has a pretty good shot at a 10. As long as I didn't, miss anything on the front. Yeah. I don't know why I'm trying to look at it because I'm like, yeah, you're like seeing all of this that looks like scratching, but I'm almost positive that is like on the, yeah, it's on the top loader. So we'll see. Very nice. Dragonite Fossil. All right, next one. Base set Alakazam. This was one of my absolutely favorite cards growing up. I remember having an Alakazam and just absolutely loving it in my binder. And I remember always trying to trade for one and finally got one. So, love the base set Alakazam. This one's really nice. This one's a little more worn. Probably one of the worst ones. We've got some whitening here. That's, it's not white dots. It's like, big chunks. 2 little chunks here. and then a little bit on the bottom right. So this one's probably like a 7 or maybe, nah, there's actually some here too. So this one's probably a 7. I'd say on a best day, it's maybe an 8, but most likely a 7. Base set Blastoise. Not nearly as popular as Charizard, but still pretty awesome. Actually, I'm more of a Blastoise fan than I am a Charizard fan. I always started Squirtle in the games, and I think Blastoise is pretty cool. So, wouldn't mind getting a good grade on this one. Let's take a look at the back. Yeah, this one's probably got some whitening here on the right side. Other than that, though. Yeah, a little bit in the corner. I'd say at worst a 7, probably an 8, depending on if I missed anything on the front hollow. Most likely not a 9, just because that's a couple different whitening spots. So I'd say it's probably an 8. Probably an 8. All right, base set Mewtwo. Good front. A little bit of silvering on the bottom. Ooh, that's a little worse than I remember. So definitely the bottom right, bottom left. What I'm worried about is, do you see how it's raised a little bit? Let's see if I can get it. Okay, let's shine a light on it. Ooh, you can see my new ring light there. So I bought a ring light. So I guess those are good for if you're doing face cams. So I bought one. But yeah, so I got a ring light. You can see the reflection. I don't know if it's like bent or creased. Because if the corner is so see right there where my finger is, if that's a crease, the highest this can get is a 6. So we'll see. I send all my cards through Ludkin's Collectibles, which is like a middleman service, and they'll do like a pre-check. So they'll look over all my cards and they'll say, hey, we think it's gonna get, you know, a 9 or an 8 or a 7 or a 6, and here are the reasons why we think it's gonna get this grade. So, you know, if I send this in and they're like, hey, we think this one's going to get a 6 because the corner is bent, it's creased, I would say, all right, don't send it in because it's not worth it as a 6, I don't think. We'll see. Might just risk it for the biscuit. Magneton from base set. Don't like this one as much. I don't like this artwork at all, really. It's kind of got that, like, computer 3D image. Again, I don't think those scratches are on the hollow. Yeah, see? Yeah, those are all on the top loader, except for a couple that look like print lines. I don't like the computer generated looking 3D model of this Magneton. I like the fossil one a lot better. My favorite artwork of Magneton is definitely Lieutenant Surge's from the gym set. I think that one's awesome. I'd love to get a first edition of that, but they're going for like $400 or $500 right now. So kind of tough, but there's base Magneton and a little bit in the bottom right here. Smidge? No? Mainly just the bottom right? Oh yeah, and then there's like a nick here and a nick here. So, I'd say a 7, maybe an 8. Dark Weezing, not an expensive card. Mainly because I think this is the one you get in one of the Rocket starter decks. Most of the hollows that you can get in a starter deck are worth way, way, way less than the ones you have to pull from a pack, obviously. So, even a lot of base set cards you could get in starter decks like Gyarados and Mewtwo, and so their hollows aren't really worth that much because you could get them in starter decks. And I think Dark Weezing is one of those. Plus, I don't know a ton of people. I really like Weezing. I don't know a ton of people who collect Weezing cards. So it's got a spec up here. This is probably an 8 or 9. Clefable base set 2. This card looks really good. If I remember correctly, it's one of the ones I think has a shot at a 10. I mean, the hollow, when I looked over it, was like flawless. Absolutely flawless. And the back, like maybe something here. If you turn it far enough. But yeah, look how clean. I mean, there's fuzz all over this, but the back of this thing is clean. Absolutely clean. So this is one I definitely, again, now I'm like seeing all this fuzz, seeing all this crap through the plastic. I I think this one's really got a good shot at a 10. Definitely a 9, if not. So pretty excited about this one. I'm really hoping it you know, gets that 10. So we'll see. But I think this one's got a shot. All right, Hitmonlee fossil set. If I remember, this one's kind of, yeah, it's got not as much as I thought. It's got like something up here in the top left. Little 1, 2, 3 nicks there. So I'd say an 8. As long as the hollow's not beat up, which I don't think it is. Looks pretty good. I think there might be some silvering on it though. Fossil is notorious for like having silvering around the edges and stuff, so we'll see. All right, next one, Dark Hypno. Another rocket set, another one that's not really that popular or that expensive. Probably because it's a Hypno and he's kind of a goober looking guy with his big old nose. But yeah, hollow looks good. Back looks pretty good. I mean, there's a right here in the bottom left, and then maybe something in the bottom right. So most likely a 9, but I'll take it. All right, Honor from Fossil. This is one of my favorite WOTC cards. I love, and it's crazy that both Honor and Gengar got hollows in the Fossil set. That's pretty cool. So this one looks really good. Not the air or anything. There's an air where it's like the hollows all like, I don't know, it kind of looks like a claw. Someone like scratched it, which is a really, really common error. Not common, popular error. And then the back of this looked pretty good. There's like these 2 dots here. And then let's see, anything else? A dot in the corner. So I'd say this one's probably an 8 or 9. But closer to a 9, just because I think the hollow's really clean. And the front just looks really good. So there is Honor Fossil set. All right. And an energy card, Rainbow Energy. This card in first edition as a 10 is super expensive. Because there's just so much hollow on the card, it's very, very difficult to grade as a 10. You can see, I mean, look at how much smaller of hollow area there is on the Honor. Then it's almost like 30%, which is pretty crazy. So all in all, this one looks really good. I think there might be some stuff on the back though. Yeah, there's 1 dot here. Yeah, there's like a little nick. Yeah, right there. So this one's probably a 9, maybe an 8. 8 or 9, but pretty cool. Rainbow Energy from Rocket Set. Pretty awesome. All right, let's get into the money cards. Let's get into why I paid what I paid for this lot. So, got all those. There was another maybe 20 hollows that just aren't even worth sending. They're like high play, light play, moderate play, you know. And I actually sold all of them. And then there was also a binder of just like bulk, commons and uncommons. And I picked through them just to see if there was anything like Charmanders or anything worth sending. And it was all light playish, close to near mint, but not quite. So I ended up selling all the other hollows just this past weekend. Just this past weekend to a guy in Canada. He bought the hollows, ton of non-hollow rares, both trainers and Pokemon, and then all the bulk. All right, why did I buy this lot for what I paid? So let's take a look. And I'm looking off to the side because I have him sitting here. I want to show you the first one first. All right. Base set Charizard. So the front actually looks really good, but there's a little bit of, which is crazy because of all these hollows, right? And of course, one of the money cards isn't in as nice shape as everything else. Funny how that happens, right? So front looks good. Back, top looks pretty nice. Sides look good. Is that fuzz? Yeah. I can't tell if that's fuzz or not. Here's where we have an issue, right? So we've got quite a bit of whitening down here. So, I don't know. 6, 7? I'm not sure. If it was me, I'd probably say 7. As long as the front is really good, which I think it is. I don't think there's anything too crazy on the front. Maybe a print line across it. Again, probably the plastic. Who knows? But that bottom part, that's what's really gonna get it, is that bottom piece of it, because of how much all in that area there is. So we'll see. But there's more. Let's take a little look-see. Another base set Charizard. This one in much nicer shape. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Front is really nice. Issue with this one though is there's silvering, and you see all these little silver dots all along the bottom. It goes all the way across it. So it's got some silvering on the front. Other than that though, look at the back of this thing. Look at the back of this thing. That's crazy. Look how nice this is. Oh no, is that it? Is it on the card? Ooh, I thought, oh my gosh. Okay, I've been so bummed about how nice of a condition this thing is. I thought I just saw a dent on it. Okay, so that's why you don't review your cards in a top loader in a sleeve, because I was looking at it and I was like, oh my gosh, do you see that? It's a dent, right? And then I just moved the card and shocker, it's on the plastic. So if you're reviewing your cards just in a PSA, don't look at them through the plastic. Look at them raw, not in, at least not in a top loader. Take it out of that. So anyway, front of this thing, nice. Little bit of silvering on the bottom. Back of this thing, absolutely gorgeous. Really, I mean, corners are clean. The edges are clean. Maybe a little off center. I think this one is going to get a 9. But I will freak out if it gets a 10. And I got to keep looking. I'm looking at myself in the camera, and I need to look at directly at where the little camera thing is on the phone. So this one is gorgeous. I'm so excited to send this one in. I think it's a solid 9, and I think it might have a chance at a 10. But I won't hold my breath on this one. So we'll see. There's the second base set Charizard. And the last card, but not the last thing I bought, Blaine's Charizard. This is the uncorrected version, which means in the Roaring Flames description of his attack, which takes a fire energy, it actually says discard all fighting energy cards attached to this. Well, why would I attach fighting energy to a Pokemon who only uses fire energy attacks? Well, that's the typo basically, and there's a corrected Blaine's Charizard where they replace this with the fire energy, which I think the corrected is actually rarer, so this would be like the error card, and I think the error card is way more common than the corrected version. So here's Blaine's Charizard. I think the front is flawless. I didn't see silvering. I didn't see any scratches. I didn't see any print lines. Front is awesome. Back is awesome. I'm not seeing... I mean, there's this. There's this little white dot in the bottom left corner. That's it. That is it on this. So what do you think? I think this one might actually have a shot as a 10. It's probably going to get a 9 because PSA is going to be really rough with all these WOTC cards. But if there's any card that I think has the best chance, I would say that there's two. There's two cards that have the best chance. This one, the Blaine's Charizard, and the base set 2 Clefable. I'd love if this base set Charizard had a chance, the one I just showed you, but I'm pretty sure the silvering and the, just the fact that it's a base set Charizard, it's not going to get a 10. But a boy can hope. A boy can dream, right? Again, I'm looking off to the side. It looks like I'm looking over. I will look at the camera, not myself. Look at the camera. Okay. I'm getting used to the face cam. Slow and steady. So there's a Blaine's Charizard. All in all, I think it was 20-ish maybe. So we got 20 hollows. And then my hand's cramping. Fanning out my Pokemon cards. He had a sealed blister pack of Fossil. Look at this. How awesome is this? and it's like in great shape. The plastic is solidly sealed to the cardboard. The cardboard's really nice. I mean, it's not like yellowing or dirty or like has any water damage. The only thing, which doesn't really matter, is like it's just like a little warped right here, like on the cardboard, just a little warped. So this is a pretty like cool collector piece. I've been playing around with the idea of grading loose blister packs or booster packs. Because this is in the cardboard blister, it's much more of a collector than just like a raw loose fossil pack. Because if someone cracks open a fossil booster box, there's 36 packs in there, right? Whereas this is a separate product, which is really cool because this would have been like on a Target shelf, like hanging up like blister packs do. So pretty awesome. Excited to have this as a little collector piece. You might see it in my background some more because I've got these Yu-Gi-Oh! Dimension of Chaos boxes that I should probably have more Pokemon stuff back there. So I might just like do a little bit of something like that. A little background piece. That's pretty awesome, right? So that's cool. Really excited to get these out to PSA. Obviously, with coronavirus, PSA has been closed for a while. They've opened back up, I think, recently, like on, what's today? So today is May the 11th. I think they opened back up on the 5th, and they've slowly, it's like a skeleton crew, so they're like very slowly processing stuff. I've got 2 orders there. One I sent in December that they got like early January, which is still there, so that's going to be like a 7-month, maybe more turnaround. And then I sent one in early March, right before everything shut down from Corona. So that was going to be there forever. I don't know when I'll send this one. I'm not really sure. So probably just whenever. I'm debating if I want to get a couple more cards in my order before I send it off, but we'll see. So anyway, that's what I picked up. Pretty awesome local pickup. I think the guy got a good deal. I think I got a good deal. I'm going to grade a lot of this stuff. It's definitely a gamble when it comes to trying to grade cards as a good grade to make money off of. But I think the Chargers have a really good shot, and that's really what's going to help, have some level of positive gain from a financial standpoint. So I'm most likely not going to sell any of these because I don't have any of these graded. The best base set Charizard I had was a PSA 8 a while back, and I sold it because I was like, oh, I only want 10s, and now I'm getting to a point where it's like, cards are getting harder and harder to come by, the market's going up, and I'll probably hold on to a lot of the WOTC cards for a bit once they come back graded. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think about the face cam. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan because I don't like looking at myself. And it already took me forever to get used to just hearing my voice. So that took forever when I first started YouTube, and now I've got to get used to my ugly mug as well. So I figured I would, though. It seems like face cams kind of help, foster a kind of cool community. So excited to be having it, but we'll see if the editing, takes forever to do. But thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you like this sort of content. Smash that like button. It really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.